ring, and you can be saved by the bell in the last round only. And Jim, in case a cut is caused by an accidental headbutt, we go to the scorecards after 3 rounds have been completed. Before that, it's a technical draw.
Now let's go up to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the pre-fight introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, Main Events Monitor Productions and Cedric Kushner Productions, along with the undisputed, undefeated king of beer, Budweiser, present the first of 2 featured bouts this evening. This bout is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman Luther Mapp, Commissioners Nat Carasali, Dr. Elias Ghanem, Bruce Lane, and Dr. James Nave, Chief Inspector Mark Ratner. Our physicians at ringside, Dr. Flip Homansky, Dr. James Wishgame, and Dr. Al Capana. The timekeepers, Jane Broadfoot and Mike Lachella. The scoring for this bout will be done on a 10-point must system, and the 3 judges assigned at ringside are Patricia Jarman, Art Laurie, and Dalby Shirley. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, Nevada's own Mills Lane. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Mirage here in Las Vegas, Nevada, let's get ready to rumble! This is a WBA heavyweight elimination bout scheduled for 12 rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the purple trunks with white trim and weighing in at an even 215 pounds. He brings a professional record of 39 victories with 27 KOs, only 2 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, from Johannesburg, South Africa, the #1 ranked WBA heavyweight contender in the world, Pierre Coetzer. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, his opponent, wearing the black trunks with multicolored trim, weighing 245 pounds, this 1988 Olympic silver medalist has gone on to a perfect record of 30-0, 26 KOs. He's the #2 ranked WBA contender in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Brooklyn, New York's pride and joy, the undefeated Riddick Big Daddy Bowe.
Listen, Eddie, if he goes right there, I'm not going to call it low. Right there, I'm not going to call it low, okay? You've already been through the instructions 1 time. Pick a tough, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Any questions here? Any questions here? Let's get it on.
Let's keep in mind that Coetzer can be hit, does bleed. If he gets past a couple of rounds, it could be a long, tough fight.
Round 1 begins. Riddick Bowe exceptionally relaxed, even playful in the ring in the minutes before the fight. That could be good, George, or it could mean that he hasn't taken the task seriously enough.
I think it's the latter. He's like a little baby. You look at his face and you got to fall in love with Riddick Bowe. But believe me, tonight, he's in against a real fighter.
No love match as Pierre Coetzer comes straight forward, and incidentally, after a pre-fight battle over the question of what kind of gloves would be worn, they eventually settled on the ones that Riddick Bowe favored. Reyes gloves rather than Everlasts. They are known as puncher's gloves. They are particularly devastating against fighters who cut easily, and that is one of Coetzer's weak points.
Hey, don't hit. Come on, come on, come on.
For weeks now, Bowe has been promising that Coetzer would take an early nap.
Get off that neck, Coach. Get off that neck. Come on.
He told us in a meeting yesterday that he trains for 12 rounds, but this is one night when he will definitely be hoping to score an early knockout. If he doesn't get it, how much frustration might ensue?
This isn't the Coetzer I've seen in the past. He starts off normally a little quicker and a little more vicious.
Well, Coetzer may have started cautiously because he knows about the powerful overhand right-hand punching of Riddick Bowe. He may want to feel that blow just a few times, George, to gauge it before he decides how much he wants to rush in.
He's definitely added a little smartness to that toughness he's got.
Left hook by Coetzer, goes to the body with the left. Bowe firing the jab, and there's the overhand right. Just missed.
And I think Coetzer was waiting on that just to taste it a little bit. Then here I come.
I think you're right. Now Coetzer knows what he wants to do and begins to press forward. He will make himself a target for Bowe. And those who believe that Bowe is going to score the spectacular knockout point to that as the reason why. Coetzer doesn't have a lot of head movement. He is not a safety first fighter.
This is the most I've seen.
Good straight right hand. Left hook just missed for Bowe. Now the right hand lands. And again, 2 right hands by Bowe. Coetzer with another left hand, and Bowe lands the right twice more. We've got a first round brawl, and Pierre Coetzer is getting hit too much.
Bowe got hit in the face with a good left hook that time.
They're both trading shots here, George.
It's not one-sided.
Uppercut for Bowe, left hook for Coetzer. And what a last minute of round 1.
Well, I said he was a good bull.
No case.
Early in the round, Coetzer was measured. Good straight right hand. And one of the things we have found out about Coetzer is he can't hurt Bowe. The question is, can Bowe hurt him?
Here we go.
Coetzer landed some very solid punches, didn't shake Bowe.
And you saw the calm face of Mills Lane peering into the war there from close range. Round 2 begins. Will they pick up the tempo the way they left off in the last minute of round 1?
I think the pushing and shoving sure favors Bowe because he's weighing so much more than Pierre Coetzer.
It could tire Coetzer out if he has to continually have Bowe leaning on him.
Coetzer is doing something he definitely doesn't like to do. It's move backwards.
Good left by Coetzer. Now Bowe backs up and comes back with a left hook of his own. Left hand shot by Bowe. Wobbled Coetzer. Bowe comes in and tries to throw the right. More pushing and shoving in the center of the ring. Coetzer breaks away with a left and a right. They are landing a lot of punches. These are clean shots.
I'm afraid Bowe just doesn't believe this guy's for real.
Already there's some blood right by the right nostril of Pierre Coetzer. And you saw Alan Tawil, his trainer, looking carefully at the left eye between rounds, waiting to see if any puffiness had developed there. Coetzer has a lot of long fights. He likes to wear opponents down, and there is always blood on the canvas.
And believe me, the fight is going just the way Pierre Coetzer wanted. He's accustomed to going 10, 9 rounds.
He's
just
accustomed
like
to wars. They are not boxing matches. Hard right hand shot by Bowe, and another, and Coetzer's in serious trouble. Now Pierre Coetzer tries to react. Not covering up. Trying to fire back like the warrior that he is. But Bowe's right hand power may yet prove too much for him in these early round skirmishes.
I agree. Too much power in Bowe's right hand. Especially in the early going. Pierre want to neutralize it. He better go right to the body.
And begin moving side to side, which isn't his game.
Not his game at all.
Long right hand by Coetzer, who appears to think that he may need a knockout to ward off Bowe. You see the right hand snapping Coetzer's head around whenever Bowe lands it.
Sometimes when you're in there like that, when a guy hits you, you just don't believe it. Coetzer just don't believe this guy can hit that hard.
Well, in pre-fight news conferences, Coetzer was given to comparing Bowe with Jose Ribalta, a fighter he recently beat. Those who are in love with Bowe would say he's no Jose Ribalta.
Don't let him catch you with those right hands. You let him catch you with those swings. You can see him coming. You must also throw his hands. Here, please. You have to get your right hands going yourself. Listen, Alan, I want that ice pack to snap. Listen here.
Take a look at Bowe.
That right hand hurts.
Now that comes from center field, not left field.
Don't throw it out there. Wait till you get to the corner. Okay.
Good jab.
Doubling up on it, which is rare for the young fighter of Bowe.
Well, I have two thoughts after that round. The first is perhaps the most sensational thing that happened was that Bowe split his trunks all the way down in the back. And the second thing is Bowe has never been in a long, really hard, tough fight. And if he's not in shape, we'll find out. If this guy can last it.
Unless he lands 3 of those right hands in a row, in which case he may give Coetzer the nap he says he would give him. What are we going to say, George?
I think Riddick Bowe, if he can just keep leaning on him with that heavy weight, he can make this fight go the way he wants to, just on his left jab. He's got to stop mixing it up. Pierre Coetzer is tough and mean.
You see the guts of Pierre Coetzer. He has felt that right hand and just keeps coming back. The crowd oohing and eyeing after the uppercut that snapped Coetzer's head back. Every time Bowe lands the heavy right hand, Coetzer's head bobs around as though he's a rag doll. But every time Pierre straightens up and comes back.
I think thus far, Bowe has demonstrated a lot more courage than I had given him credit for. Courage to go with skill.
Well, courage in fighting with those shorts split all the way out down the back.
It's a new style.
If this is a 12-round fight, our audience will see things they've never seen before. Even on HBO. An area that Larry Holmes once made reference to.
The thing about a fight when you train a long time, you get to sparring with too many guys and you get into the fight and you end up sparring.
Another right hand. And if you wind up with a sparring match here, whom does that favor?
You favor the Pierre Coetzer because he's doing what he want to do. He just want to go 12 rounds, knock you out maybe in the 10th round or 11th round, but he knows he's not going to get a first, second round knockout. Now Bowe is giving him unnecessary courage that may cost him the rest of the fight.
And Bowe's giving him opportunities that he doesn't have to give him.
And Pierre Coetzer is not a fake. He's real.
They do have diamonds in South Africa.
Well, one problem for Coetzer, guys. The left eye is starting to close up already. Those right hands have done a job on Pierre Coetzer's left eye. Oh, an uppercut that just wailed onto Coetzer's chin. But look at him stand there and take it.
Coetzer starting to jab with the back of his glove. I'm surprised the referee hasn't stopped in to warn him a little bit about that.
Right hand just missed. An oohing and eyeing kind of fight. You see the puffiness and the closing of Pierre Coetzer's left eye. He got some work to do there right now.
Don't let him catch you with uppercuts like that. He's not so fierce. How are you feeling? Pierre, I want you to throw your right hands here. Follow it with left hooks to the body. Hit him with uppercuts. He's turned to his corner. He's worried. You must hit him with right hands. You must hurt him now. Speed your jab down.
Here's Riddick Bowe, and I guess at this point we have to start asking ourselves, how much power does Bowe have? Because he has hit Coetzer with some murderous punches. Now here's Coetzer later in the round, hanging in there, landing his own right hand. We know Coetzer is not a big puncher.
The left eye is a problem. And right now, Mills Lane is already asking a doctor to take a look. Well, he's satisfied Coetzer can go forward. Yeah, they took off the grease.
Come on, let's go. It's rock time.
Now, at what point will it be hard for Coetzer to see the right hand coming, George?
I think that Coetzer's fought under these circumstances so often that it's not going to bother him. It's about Bowe. Can he stay? I think the only thing that's going to keep him energized is the closing of that eye. It's going to give him energy round after round.
Look at the left hands by Coetzer. Oh, what a demonstration of will and courage already. I mean, we're only in the 4th round, and this guy is just a masterpiece of fighter's will.
I've said all along, Rock Newman, probably the best guy in the world, but the best manager, he's matching a baby with a little over his head.
So Bowe's going to learn something here, even if he wins the fight.
He's going to learn too much. He's a great guy. Anyone deserves to be champion of the world. He's one of them.
Punch out. Come on, punch out. 2 hands.
Because of his talent?
Because of his talent and because of his love for mankind. Pierre Coetzer, hey, this guy's a great, wonderful fella. He loves Joe Louis. He loves Joe Frazier. He's imitating those guys when he fights.
He wishes.
Not much we have to tell you about this. I mean, it's fairly obvious what's happening here. 2 guys trading shots at close range.
Good bottom punch by Bowe. That hurt Coetzer.
And you kick him out. Come on, come on.
That would be a new tactic for Bowe to go to the body. Oh, just missed with a wild right.
Normally, when heavyweights fight, you only see them land this many punches in the movies. I rarely have seen 2 big men like this wail away on each other for this long.
Believe me, you won't see it much more. I think the Bowe's left jab, if he would keep it up, the referee and the judges are going to have to stop this fight on the cut.
Well, this is the kind of fight that everybody wants to see Evander Holyfield have against a real contender. So no matter who wins tonight, you've got to look ahead to November 13 with some excitement.
Now, Bowe ran his first right hand to the chest this time. That could cost Pierre Coetzer later on.
30 seconds to go in round 4. Pierre Coetzer's left eye becoming a bloody mess. It's happened before. It's not the first time in his career. He's fought through it and won many times. But maybe never against a guy as big and quick and talented as Riddick Bowe.
Riddick Bowe get past this fight. Believe me, nothing can stop him from becoming champion of the world.
So you're picking him to beat Holyfield?
No doubt in my mind. But I don't pick him to win this fight tonight.
There's another right hand to the chest by Riddick Bowe, and Coetzer heaves aside as he comes back to the corner. And the doctors step into the corner to look at Pierre Coetzer.
Pierre, please, the moment you look back when he boxes, the moment he goes back,
Outside and in the middle. Downstairs. Take the rest of his standing away. The shot is both already. Just keep that left hand in his face all the time. Keep backing up.
All punches, they're not bad when the crowd and by the nose. Not bad yet.
Just watch Bowe. He just doesn't know any way to go except forward. Takes a punch right on the nose and forehead. Keeps coming.
Stay in your game plan. Work your thing.
If he had a punch, he'd be dangerous.
Both eyes now cut and bleeding for Pierre Coetzer. Riddick Bowe's landed 49% of 106 jabs so far in the fight. You say it's a devastatingly effective jab, George.
Harold, how quickly, how do you have the fight? So?
Larry, 40-36, 4 rounds to nothing. Riddick Bowe winning it on a big right hand. Every time he throws that right hand, I go ouch.
Well, but Coetzer doesn't go out, as far as I can see.
Doesn't go out and doesn't go out.
I gave him the 3rd round incidentally.
Pierre Coetzer is moving to Bowe's left. It's like I'm inviting you to throw your big left hook.
maybe because of the punishment he's taken, or maybe because of the problem with eyesight, Coetzer's punch output is beginning to slow down. There's a 3-punch combination, but there have been fewer and fewer of those as the bout has gone on.
Believe me, losing blood anywhere in your body starts to weaken you a little bit, especially when you're in with a big guy like that. The day of the guys trying to trim down and look like weightlifters are gone in boxing. Believe me, it's just not going to get it anymore.
And at this point, every time he separates them, Mills Lane peers into Coetzer's eyes to see how bad it is. Good jab by Coetzer. Bowe responds with his own jab and follows with the right hand, just missing. Now Coetzer with the right hand to the chest.
Coetzer corner should tell him to pour it on now to make the referee and the doctor stop looking at his eyes. Go forward. He's come too far away from home to have this thing stopped on the cut.
That's right. So he needs to create the impression that he's still willing and ready to fight.
That's right. Bowe's a fantastic fighter.
Good uppercut by Bowe. Coetzer just stands there and throws back.
Why hasn't he knocked him out, hitting him so many clean, hard shots, George?
Coetzer, he's on he's destined to give a good fight. He's representing his country here. There's a new South Africa. He knows he's got to stand up.
I mean, bro, why you're saying Coetzer is just that tough?
Yeah, he's got to step tough. He's got a new country to represent. He wants to leave a good image for everybody. There's a free South Africa, Mandela South Africa.
And incidentally, as a final postscript on all the apartheid nonsense, you need only spend 5 minutes with Pierre Coetzer and Alan Torrio to recognize that these guys would never have been supporters of that policy.
Not at all. This is a lovely guy who loves everybody. But let me tell you, Riddick Bowe is a damaging hard right-hand puncher.
Oh! And a left. And finally, Coetzer backs up. That was a blistering right-hand, left-hand combination, and Coetzer only barely showed the effect. Pretty amazing.
He claims they don't even have a stool for Bowe in the corner, which could be a tragedy if he's in a rough fight. The stool's supposed to be there when you get there.
But George, you never sit on your stool.
Because I can't get up. You weigh 280 pounds. You don't want to sit down.
Larry, when George sits down, he expects you to put a plate in front of him.
Listen, you must.
Fried chicken livers.
Look, you're ready. You got to keep little punches going. Keep it going back. Keep it going back. And stay close. And look, don't stand up straight after you finish your mouth.
There's a left, a right, good punch followed by another left. All hard punches by Riddick Bowe.
And I think if Larry Holmes had that left hook against the champion the other week, he could have won.
One of the things that Bowe said before the fight is that he expects to win by using a muscle that not all fighters use, his head. The muscle that people have questioned him about is his heart, and I think he is answering those questions so far tonight.
He's over here speaking to me, and
he's asking you how he's doing. He's asking you how you think he's doing so far.
I think he's doing a lot better than I expected.
Well, Mills Lane, having already delayed the fight once for a taping of Coetzer's glove, stops it one more time, and they're trying to retape the left glove of Pierre Coetzer. Meanwhile, every time he stands still, the doctors in the corner get a chance to look at his eyes, and that doesn't bode well for him. Lane took another glance.
Pierre Coetzer is not seeing good out of that right eye at all. He's just at the mercy of his skills.
Well, frankly, George, this is a little bit the way you looked toward the end of the Stewart fight, but you don't remember that.
I resent that remark.
And as the eyes close up, Bowe's connect percentage rises. It's like a snowball going downhill. Bowe delivering more and more punishment. Coetzer in more and more trouble as he tries to respond.
Yes, and I want to report from the trunks standpoint, he's showing more and more cheek in this fight.
It is a cheeky effort, no question about it. Oh, what a right hand by Coetzer in close.
There should always be an extra pair of trunks in the house for these big guys.
Well, where would he go to take these off and put those on, though?
Penthouse wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter to Penthouse.
It wouldn't matter to Penthouse. It might matter to HBO. What the heck.
Now Bowe is trying to relax and pace himself and take a break. It's mid-fight. But if you end up giving Pierre Coetzer a little courage, it could be rocky from this point on.
Well, you showed remarkable courage against Alex Stewart. We were all impressed and breathtaken by it. This guy's doing the same thing.
He's got lots of courage, and it's a compliment to his trainers and the people who believe in him.
He's from your fraternity, George.
Give it all you got. Good right hand by Pierre Coetzer.
He's thrown a couple of them.
Bowe's left jab is working like magic now.
Low blow by Bowe, followed by a right hand to the chin. Tough call for Mills Lane. He was going down from the low blow, and Bowe rocked him with the right hand shot to the side of the head.
Didn't look like a low blow to me. It just took enough.
He's taken a point away from Bowe. Mills Lane has taken a point away from Bowe. That is, he has not scored that as a knockdown.
Well, we'll see on the replay, George. I'm pretty sure it was a low blow, but you may be right.
It definitely was a low blow.
The thing the referee told him to stop. That's what he did wrong.
You think about Evander Holyfield against Kevin Barry in the Olympics in 1984. Harold Letterman.
Bowe just came over to us to say, it was accidental, so he is confirming the fact that it was a low blow.
Jim, the rule in this situation is that Pierre Coetzer has a reasonable amount of time to continue. Otherwise, he loses on a disqualification. Racknewman challenged a reasonable amount of time. The Nevada State Athletic Commission says 5 minutes. At the end of 5 minutes, if Pierre Coetzer cannot continue, he loses the fight on a TKO. You can't win on a low blow.
All right, let's look at the replay now. There's the punch.
Oh, right.
And you can see it was down around Tierra del Fuego. It was a very low blow, and then he followed it with a right hand. And Mills Lane, as usual, has handled the situation with perfect calm and judgment.
So now Coetzer has a reasonable period of time, and he deems himself recovered and goes back to work against Riddick Bowe. And the crowd cheers for Mills Lane as well as for Pierre Coetzer.
Coetzer threw a good left hook that time, but it didn't seem to hurt Bowe.
Gentlemen, Pierre Coetzer has never been knocked out. How he is going to make it all the way through this is hard to see for the moment. Maybe as hard to see from our vantage point as it is hard for him to see the punches coming from the gloves of Riddick Bowe. Comes to a close, and once again now Alan Tawil goes to work on Pierre Coetzer while Nevada State Athletic Commission doctors peer in from both sides.
And Mills Lane is informing everybody that he's taken a point away for that low blow.
Listen, please.
Well, the fight is scheduled for 12 rounds as a heavyweight championship eliminator.
Right hands. Please. Don't let him catch you with those right hands. You must speed up your jabs. Cross him and hit this guy. Hit him to the body now. Start hurting him downstairs.
Seconds out.
And it should be reported that Riddick Bowe in his corner, his eye was being tended to there. A slight swelling on the left eye.
Riddick Bowe's trainer, incidentally, hasn't gotten a mention so far. Maybe because he's one of the quietest men in the sport. Riddick calls him Papa Smurf, 80-year-old Eddie Futch.
Looking to develop his 18th world champion.
Eddie Futch. What a trainer.
A guy who once sparred with Joe Louis.
And Riddick says that he is intensely aware of his position as potentially the very last heavyweight champion for Eddie Futch. He doesn't want to let him down.
In the same way that Mike Tyson was the last champion developed by Customato.
Bowe's got such an excellent left jab. You wonder why he's starting to use it only just now.
Threw 31 jabs in round 6, according to Punchstat numbers, George, and landed 20 of them. So he has been accurate with it when he has used it.
He's going to have a rough time, Coetzer, going to convincing the Nevada State doctors that that eye is okay.
Yeah, particularly for 6 more rounds.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to stand for much more of that. This is a real protective state. They really care about the boxer.
It helped you that you were judged to be ahead in the fight at the time that your eyes were in the kind of trouble they were in against Stewart. This guy is clearly losing the fight. That doesn't help him.
My eyes were never cut.
No, they were just swollen. That's right.
They just look like a mass and a mess. Chopped livers.
That's right. You didn't have the eyelid cuts that he has.
No, there weren't any cuts. Just pain.
I must say they look immaculate now, George.
Ooh, that uppercut has been the most devastating punch of this whole fight by Riddick Bowe.
He'll get a chance to throw that uppercut against Holyfield on November 13th.
Let me tell you, Riddick Bowe is on his way to becoming the next heavyweight champ of the world. So if he can get by Pierre Coetzer today. Ooh, a good left hook by Pierre Coetzer. Hurt Bowe. Bowe is hurt.
And there's
Bowe is hurt again.
He's holding on.
He is indeed. Wobbling and holding on. Now let's see if Coetzer knows it and can do anything about it.
Bowe is hurt constantly with his left hook.
Well, Coetzer couldn't do anything with it. Bowe's beginning to get his legs back right now.
He's just so big. Bowe is really holding on, though.
He has the biggest body of any of the young heavyweight contenders. Riddick is tall, but not as heavy through the thighs and the belly and the chest as Riddick Bowe.
Riddick Bowe has been hurt, and his corner should let him shout, use your jab, and stay back a little bit.
Oh, uppercut again. Coetzer in serious trouble. Mills Lane 1 punch away from stopping it, and there it is. End of story. Riddick Bowe has a 7th round technical knockout, which should send him forward toward a heavyweight title matchup with Evander Holyfield. You know, Mills Lane is such a great referee that you can see down to the second when he's going to stop a fight.
There was a low blow that time, and Coetzer tried to complain about it. So if he didn't see that, maybe it was turned away from him, but it should have been lent to.
I didn't see that low blow, George. Perhaps our replay will show it.